What's America's favorite vehicle? We'll give you a clue. It's not a motor car. If you guessed the Ford F-150 pickup, you are right. According to Auto Week, for the past 3 years, an average of 900,000 F-150 pickups have been sold each year. That's 2,486 pickups per day, 103 every hour, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now that's a lot of pickup. What makes the F-150 pickups the top-selling American vehicle since 1981? That's nearly 40 years. During this time, a total of 40 million Ford F-150 pickups have been sold. Just to give you an idea of how many that is, imagine parking them all bumper to bumper in a long line. The line could circle the globe not once, but multiple times. There's a lot to be amazed about when it comes to the Ford F-Series. Firstly, it was the first real purpose-built pickup truck. Until then, the pickups were just an afterthought. Secondly, today, only 15% of these pickups actually do what they were originally built for. It started a new trend that has continued to this day. Ford F-1 pickup was built as a workhorse, but it soon became a popular personal vehicle loved by all Americans. The F-150 was only officially released in 1972, but its story started much earlier than that. It's 1947, World War II was ended, and car companies that were focused on supplying vehicles for the troops now turned their attention to getting ordinary Americans moving again. Say you're a handyman that year. You need a vehicle to do your job, so you take a look at your options. There aren't many. In fact, you only have 2 choices. You can get a heavy-duty truck, but it's way too big. You don't have that much stuff you need to transport. And you need to use the vehicle for personal use too, since you don't have enough money to buy 2 vehicles. How's your day going to feel when you arrive to pick her up in a monster truck? They're smaller trucks, but they are really just lightly modified passenger cars. They don't have enough space for your load, and they aren't nearly tough enough for what you need. Feel a bit like Goldilocks with even less options. Should you choose the truck that's too big or the modified passenger car? It's too weak. Luckily for you, Ford has just released a third option, which is just right. It's the F1 pickup truck, a purpose-built half-ton pickup, built from the ground up. It's specifically designed for light truck use and doesn't look anything like the afterthought of a passenger car maker. While competitors only offer inline 6-cylinder engines, Ford F1 has 3 options, one of which is a legendary 100 horsepower V8. Yeah, back in the day, 100 horsepower was a lot. It also has some passenger car comforts, including a wide cab and curved one-piece windshield not seen in any of its competitors. There are options for a passenger side sun visor and windshield wiper, as well as a see-clear windshield washer. This is operated by a foot plunger and useful for people whose job takes them to dirty or muddy environments. And it comes with additional chrome trim and 2 horns. It is marketed as the 1948 F1 bonus-built pickup. Ford advertising claims the trucks are the amazing result of time-proved truck engineering principles. They call it the Ford bonus-built construction, which claims to make trucks stronger and last longer. Ford's intent is to create something rugged but comfortable for commercial operations. But people soon start seeing the advantages of having a vehicle that can handle light hauling duties. Horse owners will need to carry a few bales of hay. Now they can do this with a vehicle that is comfortable enough for everyday use too. Soon, driving a truck doesn't mean you're a farmer or a ranch hand. The F1 appeals to a much larger market. People begin buying them for lifestyle reasons and using them as passenger cars. Ford is quick to recognize the trend it started. So the next generation model is designed with this wider market in mind. Let's take a trip through the evolution of the iconic F-150 to see what changed and what stayed the same. A massive redesign for the second generation includes features to turn the F-100 from a work truck to a vehicle that anyone in the family can drive. Turning radius is reduced. Automatic transmission, power steering, seat belts and heating, and ventilation systems are introduced. Roomier interiors include options like radios, dome lights, armrests, and cigarette light. It's at this point that the series name has changed from F1 to half-ton F100, F2, and F3, merging to become the 3/4-ton F250, and F4 became the 1-ton F350. The third generation sees a modern new body with integrated fenders and hood and a clamshell design. Four-wheel drive models become available. The fourth generation sees the series become longer and lower. A mid-cycle design introduces the twin I-beam front suspension, which allows the front wheels to run independently. This results in more maneuverability and a smoother ride. The Ranger name makes its first appearance as a pickup. It's used to denote the high-level styling package. Fifth generation, 1967 to 1972. Dimensions of the fifth generation increase again and plusher trim levels become available. The grille design gets updated. A camper special 1972 F-250 is introduced. The sixth generation introduces a legendary F-150 model in an effort to avoid emissions restrictions. This becomes the best-selling truck ever. It sits between the F-100 and the F-250. The four-wheel drive Super Cab is released. 4 seats now mean you can use it as a family car, even though the rear door is a little awkward. The seventh generation is the first ground-up design since 1965. It has improved aerodynamics and fuel economy. The blue oval is added to the center of the grille. Diesel power is added to the series, as well as electronic fuel injection. Power mirrors, windows, and door locks make their appearance, as do tinted windshields. The F-100 is discontinued, making the F-150 the lightest pickup on the market. Body lines soften around the rear in the 8th generation models, which also sport a new rounded front clip to improve aerodynamics. It's the first year of the 5-speed manual overdrive transmission, and some of the models get electronic fuel injection. The Ford F-150 becomes the first pickup truck that's sold on a non-carbureted engine. It's 1989. The F-150 is now America's best-selling vehicle. The hood line in the 9th generation gets lower to improve aerodynamics. It gets new fenders and grills and a high-mount third brake light. An anniversary package striped model is released to commemorate the 75th anniversary of the first Ford-produced truck. It gets more high-tech with keyless entry, alarm, and a compact disc player. The trend towards a personal vehicle continues. More and more people are purchasing the F-150 for personal lifestyle rather than work use. In the 10th generation, Ford splits the series in order to develop separate vehicles for both types of buyers. The F-150 becomes a contemporary vehicle for personal use, while the F-250 and F-350 are designed for work use. The reimagined F-150 takes on a whole new shape. It has a radically streamlined body. It loses the traditional twin I-beam and gets full independent front suspension. The Super Cab becomes the first pickup in the class to have 4 full-size doors. It's also the 50th anniversary of the F-Series. Sales surged to nearly 1 million in 2001. More variants appear in the 11th generation, including off-road models and sportier versions. All F-150s get 4 doors. A navigation system becomes available for the first time on some models. The F-150 wins numerous awards as the best pickup truck. The 12th generation includes a new model. SVT Raptor is a dedicated off-road pickup. Towing capacity is increased. A V8 cylinder becomes standard on all F-150 models with the 6-cylinder. The 2011 F-150 offers the 3.5 direct-injected twin-turbo EcoBoost V6. Automatic transmission is the only option. Electric power-assisted steering becomes available. The 13th generation gets lighter by nearly 750 pounds. Nearly every panel is switched to aluminum, but the bulk of the frame remains high-strength steel. 13 generations and 80 years later, America's love for the F-Series pickups continues. It may have started primarily as a work tool with few creature comforts, but today less than 15% of owners use their pickups for the purpose it was originally intended. In 2019, it was the best-selling vehicle in America. The F-Series won in 31 states, including most of the Midwest and South. This is according to a report by Edmunds, which also says that every state in America, apart from California and Florida, prefers either a pickup or an SUV. What can we say? We just love our trucks. Coming soon is the F-150 electric option. Will it live up to the tough Ford name? Ford releases a video demonstration of the prototype, towing more than 1.25 million pounds of rail cars and trucks during the test. You judge for yourself. The Ford F-150 might have started as a humble workhorse, a basic transportation for farmers and trade people. But today it's become the personal transportation of millions of Americans, both individuals and families. The Ford F-150 has been America's most favorite vehicle for nearly 40 years. That's certainly a tough act for any motor manufacturer to follow.